Okay, welcome everyone. Good morning on this Saturday, April 16th. I want to welcome everybody that is joining me live. We are streaming in multiple platforms right now, but we also have people who signed up that are on Zoom. And so I want to welcome you guys to this Blueprint for Success workshop. And this workshop, if you're wondering how long is it going to last, it'll probably last about an hour or so. I really encourage you to just take the time just in the next hour to kind of silence your cell phones and really make the next hour all about you. Okay. This is all about you. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you succeed in your life. And the way that we make this happen is all about um, creating a plan, creating a blueprint, right? Having something that we can follow that clearly states where we're going, what we're going to do mentally to get there, and then physically, what actions are we going to take, right? And so that's what this blueprint workshop is all about, helping you achieve the success that you really want. And again, I want to welcome people who are here on Zoom. And if you're joining live on Facebook or YouTube, we also want to welcome you as well. So before we kick everything off, let me just kind of talk a little bit about why you're going to want to listen and really participate. And in order to do that, I have to at least kind of share a little bit about who I am and why I'm doing this, right? So, make a long story short, um, I I I struggle just like everybody else. Okay, I had a lot of money problems. I had a lot of self love problems. I had a lot of relationship issues. I was depressed. I was confused. Didn't know what I was gonna do. I've been through those periods of my life where I just didn't know what I was doing. Okay. I was just waking up every day, reacting to life. I was allowing my past to control me. I was hanging around the wrong people, buying things I know I shouldn't buy because I thought I needed that validation, et cetera, et cetera. And the bottom line here is this blueprint that I'm going to teach you guys today has really helped me go from that type of lifestyle, that type of life to now every day I wake up, I get to do exactly what I want to do. Like I get to wake up and how many people could really say that? I legitimately can wake up in the morning and I'm doing exactly what I want to do. I'm not working for anybody else. I don't have a 9 to 5. I don't do any of that. I have my own business, my own career, my own passions. That's what my life is all about today. I believe in myself. Like it's like night and day. The way I feel about myself, how I love myself today, even the relationship that I have today. I'm engaged to a beautiful fiance. It's all because I had a blueprint that I followed to get me here today. And if I was going to roll all this up in a couple of simple words, it's you can be very happy. You can do better. You deserve to do better. You deserve to be better. You deserve to have better. But in order to do that, first you got to have a commitment, which is totally your responsibility. You got to be committed to wanting to be happy, of course, wanting to have a better life, wanting to do better. And then what you need is a blueprint. You need a plan that you are able to follow. That's what we are going to help you achieve today. We're going to help you come up with a plan that you can follow. The commitment is all on you. I can't make you committed. Nobody can make you committed. That is your responsibility. So you got to look in the mirror and say, am I truly committed to living the life that I deserve? Right? I know there's a life out there that you want. I know you want better. You want to do better. Some of you guys, it's about your health. Some of you guys, it's about the money. Some of you guys, it's about your relationships, your business, whatever it is. Take a step back and realize that you can have it. You absolutely can have it. But the first step is you have to be committed. You have to have that agreement with yourself like, hey, you know what? No matter what, this is what I am going after and nothing is going to stop me from getting there. Like that's just the bottom line, right? And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to pull that off and make it happen for myself. Okay? So First step is commitment. All right. That's all on you. Second step, you have to have a plan that you're going to follow. Again, this is what we are going to help you guys create today. And then lastly, you need accountability, right? You need someone that's going to help you stay on track. This is why actors, actresses, sport athletes, right? The top professionals in every single industry, you know what they all have in common? They all have coaches. They all have mentors. They all have people that hold them accountable because they know in order for them to go to the next level in their life, they're going to need someone to call them out when they need it, right? They're going to need someone to support them and keep pushing them. They need somebody to see the greatness within them when they don't see it for themselves. We all need that. I need it. You need it. Everybody needs it. So today is all about step number 2, helping you create a blueprint. Okay. And so I just wanted to briefly talk about, why am I doing this? Because you know what? I wish someone would have shared this information with me. I wish somebody would have. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason. And we're here today. So I'm just going to be sharing the blueprint that someone shared with me, my own mentor. And I guarantee if you do exactly everything we're saying in this workshop, you will create more success in your life. You will start to do things you really been wanting to do for quite some time. And you know what? You're going to look back and say, man, this is more, it's simple. I was making it really complicated. I was getting in my own way. But now I'm able to go out there and do the things that I want. And when I say that, I'm talking about your own life. You want to be more happier. I know you do. You probably want to be healthier. Maybe you want to hang out with better people. Maybe you want to finally start that business. Maybe you want to get better at your business. Maybe you want to improve your relationships, right? Maybe you and your relationship with your children could be better. Whatever the case might be, this blueprint will help you get that. Today is all about helping you get what you want in your life. All you have to do is follow these steps and you're going to be able to make that happen. All right. So there's our intro. That's why you're going to want to listen. That's what I'm about. This is why I'm here to help you. And let's kick things off. So first things first, in order to kick this workshop off the right way, everybody should have already received a copy of the workbook. Okay. A copy of the workbook. And in case you haven't received a copy of it, don't worry. I am going to do you a favor. And first, I'm going to share it for the people who are on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to drop it down there in the comment section and you can download it yourself. Okay. And then for the people on Zoom, we're going to put it in the chat box in case you did not get a copy of it. Okay. So let's just take a moment while I make that happen. Put this in the chat box for you guys. Okay. All right. So the workbook is there. You guys can download it. And for the people on YouTube, dropping that right now in the comment section for you to download. Okay. All right. And while we're doing that, guys, if you are joining live or you're on Zoom, just share what your goal is in the next 90 days. What is your goal? You could have a personal goal. You can have a professional goal. You could have a relationship goal. It doesn't matter what it is. What's just one thing you would love to accomplish in the next 90 days? Just comment down below. And because that is what we are going to help you achieve during this workshop. We're going to help you create a blueprint around that. All right. Okay, let's see. Dropping that in the chat on YouTube. Perfect. All righty. We are good to go. So let me bring this up on the screen for the people in Zoom. We're going to bring the workbook up, kind of show you guys exactly what we're looking at here. Okay, so everybody should have a copy. Again, you don't have to print this out. okay, you could just use scratch paper, right? You don't need to print it out. If you can print it out, go ahead, but I highly recommend you just take out some extra plain pieces of paper and just use that to navigate through this workshop as we walk through this. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, got one question. Let me just take care of that. Okay. All right, guys. We are good to go. Let's see. All right. We're good to go. So, this is our workbook. This is what we're going to be using as we walk through this workshop today. I'll just kind of briefly skim over it a little bit. We have an outline, a step-by-step process that we're going to follow. It's just 9 simple steps. Each of these steps, I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to share with you why it's important, and then I'm going to give you the step-by-step to applying it, okay? And each of these steps, they build off each other, okay? That's the way that it goes, okay? And we have 3 phases that we are going to go through. It's just 3 phases with 3 steps in each of those phases, okay? So it's very, very organized, very, very simple. Again, I don't believe this is going to take a long time, but again, if you have, and let me just say this really quick, if you have questions, please put that in the comment section and we will address that as soon as possible, okay? So let's see if everybody shared what their goals are in the comment section here. My goal is to make 3x what I made last year in this quarter. That includes online and in sales. Got it. My goal is, this is on YouTube. My goal is to buy a house. All right. I love that. My goal is to be a little healthier. Define that. What do you mean a little healthier? What does that really mean? What does that mean, right? It's clear. I want to buy a house in the next 12 months. Very clear. I want to make 3x what I made last year. Very clear. What do you mean when you say healthy? You want to be at a certain weight. Maybe you want to feel a certain way. Maybe you want to get off medication. What does that really, what does that mean? Okay. Yeah. You want to get down to, okay. You want to be at your, I like to call it your perfect weight. Okay. So you want to drop 15 pounds. Awesome. Okay. Let's go to the next goal here. We have, oh, I want to have a better relationship with my children. I love that. Okay. Awesome. Good for you. I just want to be more happier. Well, this is definitely going to help you do that. Let's see. Guys, share your goals in the comment section below. This is really good. Let's see. I want to have a better relationship with my mother. I love that. Good for you. Let's see. Thank you for hosting this. Yes, thank you for being here. Okay. All right. For everybody else, I mean, there's a lot of comments, so I'm just going to have to move on here. But just put your goal in the chat box or in the comment section, and we're going to use that throughout this workbook, okay? So where I want to start first, let's start by understanding the process that we are going to go through today. Let's just understand that first, and then we'll get into the steps. Okay, so let me zoom in here for you guys. Okay, let me zoom in. There we go. So here's the thing. It says business goals on here, but replace business with family goals. Replace business with financial goals, health goals, right? Relationship goals. Replace it with anything. It doesn't matter. Goals are goals at the end of the day. So here's the thing. most people are not achieving the goals that they want. Most people are not doing what they really want to do. They're not achieving the things that they really want to achieve. They're not making any progress whatsoever towards their goals. Why? Well, they don't have a plan to follow. They don't even know where to start, and they become very overwhelmed and they quit. And we all know what it's like to do that to ourselves, right? We have an idea, we have a dream, a fantasy, a goal, and then what happens? The big question pops up in our mind. How am I going to do that? How am I going to achieve that? Right? That's usually the question. And then because you don't have the answers, which we won't ever know the exact how, then you start allowing that to control your thinking. And then before you know it, you become very discouraged, doubt and worry sets in, and then you don't do anything. Right? So this workshop is so powerful for the individual that doesn't want to feel that way anymore. They want to at least get clear on what is it that I want? What is it that I need to start doing every day to move in that direction? And what is my plan? What is my strategy, right? So the bottom line here is we're going to walk you through 9 simple steps that is going to take you from not achieving the goals that you want to achieve to achieving the goals that you want to achieve. Okay. Now, you can do this process with anything. It does not matter who you are, where you are. It does not matter. You could do this with anything. Again, you could do this with your relationships, your money, your business, your health, your spirituality, your fitness, your personal development. It doesn't matter what it is. This is a step by step process that you can take and implement in any aspect of your life. All you got to do is follow it. Okay. So let's first walk through a little overview and then we'll get into the actual first phase of this. So, phase number 1 is all about clarity. Okay. Clarity precedes mastery, meaning if you expect to grow and achieve success, you must first get clear on what success is for you. That's what phase 1 is all about. And we do that by helping you answer what is your purpose behind what you're trying to do here? What's your vision? What does it look like? And then what is the target? What is the goal? Right? What is it that I'm going to start working towards? Because I need a very clear idea on what I'm working towards. And again, this is the mistake that people make. They're not clear, they're in a state of confusion. And when you're in a state of confusion, how does that make you feel? Anxiety, right? All that stuff. Phase 2 is all about your mindset. Okay. Now that you're clear on what you want, you got to have the right mindset. Mindset is everything. I often say that our success is 95% mindset, 5% strategy. So if you don't have the right attitude, if you're not believing in what you're trying to do, if you're not walking around acting like that person, the chances are you're not going to do it. So we have to see it in our mind. We have to become it in our mind first. And then phase 3 is we get clear on what are the actions I'm going to take? What is my plan? A simple plan that I can follow. Okay. What help can I get from people that will help me keep moving forward on this? And then lastly, we're going to give you guys a copy of our blueprint journal that helps you stay on track for your plan, meaning every single day you go into this journal, you write out your goals, you write out your plan on what you're going to do the next day and your gratitude list, and it keeps you on track. Okay. So, again, why are we going to follow this process today? Because 1, you are committed to being better. You're committed to having the things that you want. I'm here to give you the blueprint to really express that commitment, right, towards the goals that you have in your life. And that's what it's all about today. Okay. So, again, you could take out a scratch piece of paper if you want. You could print this workbook out if you want. For the people on Zoom joining me live right now, you could definitely download this. It's in the chat section. So just hit the link and you should be good to go. All right. Let me just read a couple more goals and we will move on from that. All right. We got another goal here. I want to eat healthier. Okay. All right. Give me something more clear. What do you mean? You want to eat? Is there a particular diet? Is there um, Let's help you make it clear. What do you mean by that? Okay, let's see here. All right, going back to that, to your comment where you said you want to be more healthier, you want to drop more weight. Got it. I love that. Um, I just want to eat a healthier. I want to eat healthier. This is what the person is saying, and stop eating out so much. Yeah, I think all of us can relate to that. I mean, these fast food places, they don't make it easy, do they? But you know what? You're going to make it easy on yourself because you're going to have a plan that you're creating today. So it's going to be easier for you to actually execute it. All right. Let's see here. What else we got? I want to find a man. Okay. I love that. Hey, well, he's out there. He's out there. Believe it. Believe it. He's out there. You just got to do your job. You got to love yourself. You got to look within, and you will definitely get that person every single time. Let's see. What else we got? I want to double my business from last year. Okay. This is good, guys. We have a lot of goals in the comment section. I love it. I love it. Keep it coming. Okay, hold on. Somebody has a problem with the link. All right, let me repaste it for you. Okay. That should be good now, guys. All right. What else? Any other goals? What else we got on here? I want to love myself more. I love it. Absolutely. We're going to help you do that. No question. Okay. All right. Let's see. The link should work now. You should be good. All right, guys. Here we go. Let's get into step number 1 of our process in phase 1. Thank you guys for all commenting what your goals were. And now we're going to go to phase 1, which is all about clarity. It's all about clarity, getting clear on what you want and what your purpose is and what your goals are. So let's start here. What is our purpose? What is our purpose? Now, listen, behind every successful thing we do in life, there is a purpose, right? Just think about it right now. You have a purpose for being here today. You're not here just by accident. You're here because of why. You want to get better. You want to create more success. You want to achieve your goals. You know, all those goals that you guys just put in the chat box, it's because of all of that, right? That's your purpose for being here. Well, what's your purpose for getting up in the morning, right? What's your purpose for doing what you're doing professionally in your career or business, right? What's the purpose of your relationships? We don't do things on accident. If you really think about it, right? We have a purpose. We don't just get in the car and drive nowhere. We get in the car because we have a purpose. There's a reason why we're getting in the car and we're driving in the direction that we're going. There's always a reason. And that's the first step of the Blueprint for Success workshop. What is your reason? What's your reason for wanting these goals? Now, one of the best ways to ask yourself this is just ask why a few times. Some of you guys said, hey, you know what? I want to drop 15 pounds. Someone said, I want to improve the relationship with my children. Some of you guys said, I wanted to triple my income. Okay, listen, why is that? Why do you want to do that? Right? Really think about that. Write that down right now. Why do you want to do that? Just write it down. It doesn't have to be long, just a simple sentence. Why is that? Okay. Let's see here. And then once you got that down, ask why again. So I'll give you guys a great example.
My goal is to go out there and obviously help as many people as I can. My business goal is to get our business up to $50,000 a month. Now, why would we want to do something like that? Well, the reason why is because I want to help more people. The more money I make, the more people I can help. That's just the bottom line. I can hire more people, I can expand my reach. Well, why do I want to do all that? Well, I really want to do all that because I feel in today's world, as much information as there is, most people will never hear about any of this. They will never realize that they need to know what their purpose is. They'll never know that they have to set goals and how to actually do it. I mean, we have to really respect the word ignorance. Most people are living in ignorance, ignorance of who they are, what their potential is, how possible it is for them to go out there and live the life that they really want to live. Most people are living in ignorance. They really just don't know. So obviously, the more people I can reach, the more people I can take from being ignorant to being aware and seeing the greatness that they have in themselves and really stepping into that potential that they have. So that's my why. And that's all I need to get up in the morning. As long as I'm doing that every single day, I'm a happy person. So what's your reason? What's your why? All right, this is what step 1 is all about. Okay, now let me just share the 3-step process that will help you come up with a purpose statement. And don't worry, I'll give you guys an example and we could talk a little bit more about this. So step 1 is, what do you really do best? What do you really do best? That is the question here. Now, sometimes I'll ask people this question and they're like, well, I don't know. You do know. There are things that you do that takes no effort. What is that? It could be as simple as, you're really amazing at drawing. You're really freaking talented at graphic designing. Maybe you're really great at content creation. Maybe you are just a genius at gardening or parenting or taking care of kids or taking care of animals, right? Or business. Maybe you're really good at business. Maybe you're good at sales. Maybe you're good at leadership, right? There's so many talents and gifts that we have. Okay. There's definitely something that you do the best. There's definitely something that you're like, you know what? I'm really great at that. And everybody always tells me I'm great at it. What is that for you? The second thing you want to answer is, well, what would you love to do every single day? Right? Now, I'll give you guys a great example so far. What do I really do best? I'm really great at speaking. I'm really great at coaching. I'm really great at teaching. And I'm great at marketing and all the other stuff. But if I was gonna if I was gonna rank it, you know, what is the number one thing for me? I'm really great at helping other people succeed. There's no question about it. I'm really great at talking to someone and having the light bulb click on in their head and them start really thinking I can do that. That's what I'm really great at. And listen, you may not be able to answer that today, but remember, this is about helping you make progress today, okay? So even if you can't get the answer right now in this moment, don't worry about it. Just write down whatever you can write down, whatever ideas do come to your mind. And listen, when I first started this, that was not my answer. That was not what I thought my purpose was. I was still kind of like, oh, well, I'm great at this and I'm great at that and I'm great at this. And I was really overthinking it. But as time goes on and you revisit this process over and over and over again, you will narrow your purpose down and it'll just become clear. Number 2 is passion. What do you love to do every single day? Well, it just turns out for me, I love helping people every single day. Okay. I love coaching and teaching every single day. Again, yours might be different. Maybe you like, working out every day. Right? So maybe what you do best is you're really great at eating a healthy diet, and what you love doing every day is working out. Okay, I think we're on to something, right? Like, guys, knowing what your purpose is, it's nothing you have to go out there and get. It's already in you. Okay. What this process is helping you do is rediscover your purpose. You were a kid one day and you had dreams. Okay. You had a purpose. But you know what happened? Your parents, the teachers, and society threw that purpose out the window and told you to pay attention. Or you can't make money doing that. Or that's not possible. You need to go to college. And those dreams and goals and the purpose, that all went out the window. And that's why a lot of people are sitting there today and they're like, man, I don't even know what my purpose is. No, it's still there. Your purpose is already inside of you. The goal is to get that to come to the surface. And we do that by asking these questions right here. So don't worry if you don't have all the answers right now. Just write down whatever your heart tells you and start there. This is not a set in stone process. You will write this down. And then if you write it down next week, it might be different. And that's a great thing because that means you're thinking. You're actually thinking about you. You're actually thinking about what your purpose is here. And that's what we want you to do, is to start thinking for yourself. And step number 3 of discovering your process in this statement here is, what is your legacy? What's the mission that you're on, right? I'll give you guys a great example. What do I really do best? I really do best helping people succeed. I love teaching and coaching every day. And why does that mean so much to me? What is my legacy? What is it all about? Because at the end of the day, I want to leave this world with people saying DeVory made this world better than he found it, right? Because DeVory was in my life improved. That's what I want people to say. I don't care about how much money people say I had, or all the businesses that I started, or the car that I drove, or the house that we ended up purchasing. I don't care for people to talk about that. I just want people to say one thing. Because DeVory was in my life was better. That's all I want people to say. Because in my heart, I feel if people can say that, I had a successful life. It might be different for you, right? And again, it might end up changing for me because, in this chapter of my life now, I don't have any kids. Maybe when I have kids, it might change. Who knows? Maybe it'll change in 20 years from now. But right now, I am very clear on why I'm here and what I'm supposed to be doing. So let's take the time to answer any questions about step 1, discovering your why, your reason, your purpose. Is that clear? Please comment in the chat box below if you need any help filling out this purpose statement. Now, the way that you would fill it out is very, very simple. You can write out something that would say, my purpose is to, and let me help you guys out here. Oh, not like that. There we go. My purpose is to, I'm going to do mine, help others. My purpose is to use my gifts and talents to help others succeed. How do I do that? What am I passionate about doing every day? By coaching, teaching, and mentoring. Why? Like, why am I going to do that? Like, what is it? Like, at the end of the day, my legacy, to make the world a better place. Right? That's it. So listen, this is just a template, just to help you kind of fill in the blanks. All right. Again, it's not all set in stone. You could change it if you think it's different tomorrow. But just get it out of your head. Get it out of your head and on some paper. Right? Get it out of your head. Maybe your purpose. We actually have some answers in the chat box. So let me just read that really quick for everybody else. My purpose is to build a legacy for my future family. I want to create something that my future bloodlines will be inspired by and carry on in their own way. Yes. Let's see here. My purpose is to make a life better for my family. I love that. Got a question here. What do you mean by passion? Can you explain? Okay, yeah, no problem. Passion means, what would you want to do every single day if you had it your way? What would you love to do every single day? That's really what it's all about. What are you passionate about waking up every single morning and dedicating your life to every single day? right? I love waking up every day and having the opportunity to coach, teach, and mentor people. That's my bread and butter. That's what I love doing. Like if someone said, "Hey, you could do anything in this world and you know what? You'll get paid for the rest of your life and you have all the money you need," this is what I would be doing. Okay? I wouldn't play sports. I wouldn't even really want to be in entrepreneurship hardcore. I wouldn't want to do that. I just really want to be involved in coaching, teaching, mentoring people for sure. So hopefully that answered your question. Let's see. What other questions we got? This is good. This is good. Okay, awesome. Perfect. Okay. So that's step one of the process. Very simple, right, guys? Very, very simple. Okay. All right. So let's move to step number 2, which is our vision. And really, what the vision is all about is now that you know what your reasoning is, okay, now that you know why, let's create a vision around that. What does it look like to express your purpose, right? Some of you guys said, "Hey, my purpose is to go out there and build a legacy for my family." So, what does that actually look like? What does it mean to create a legacy for your family and future families? Let's see here. Some of you guys said, "My purpose is to inspire the youth and the next generation to be the best they can." Okay, perfect. So, what does it mean? What does that look like? Okay, this is what step 2 is all about. Now, I love using this analogy. Okay, I think it's a perfect time to introduce this analogy. As we go through these steps in this Blueprint for Success workshop, here's the analogy I'm going to refer to a lot. Every one of you guys have parents, right? Maybe they're alive, maybe they're not. But just imagine that they are alive. And imagine that both of them are single. Okay? They are divorced. They're no longer together. Okay? Just imagine that. Now, imagine your mother is getting married to her new husband. Just imagine that. Okay? And she calls you and says, "Hey, I want you to be the number one person at my wedding. I want you to play a important part in this wedding." Okay? So, what is the goal? Right? The goal would be obviously to help your mother have a successful wedding, right? Obviously. Okay. What's the vision? Well, the vision is going to include everything you're going to do to make that wedding successfully. That's what vision is all about. What are all the ways, what are the things that I need to accomplish? What are the little milestones or little goals that I need to achieve to make sure that the goal is met, that my mother has a successful wedding? Now, why would I have this vision and why would I have that goal? Here's the purpose again, because I want my mother to be very happy, right? My purpose is to really be there for my mother and support her, right? Like we're doing this already in your life. You're following these steps already in your life, so to speak. But we're really helping you kind of get it out of your mind onto a organized fashion, organized pieces of paper and a step-by-step process that you could see on a paper and really start to follow. But you're already doing these steps and you probably don't even know it, right? Your purpose is to make sure in this scenario, in this analogy, is to make sure that you're there for your mother and she is happy and she has everything she needs. That's your purpose. Your vision is you're going to help her plan the wedding. You're going to help her do the RSVPs. You're going to help her pick out her dress. You're going to help her make sure the right people are invited and the catering and what are the place. And now, before we get there, you're going to take one thing at a time. So let's cover the vision, right? The vision right now is what is everything I got to do to fulfill that purpose. That's what vision is all about. And the way that we do that is we break it up by areas. Okay. Now, what I also recommend and what I love doing is breaking it up by the area of my life. So I have different areas of my life, right? I have personal development, leadership, family, business, relationships, revenue, health, finances, marketing, sales, operations, talent, right? Because I own a business. So the goal right now is not for you to take every single one of these categories and start listing out things. Just take the 3 most important areas of your life right now. And what I want you to do is start answering these 3 questions. Okay. Now, let me kind of give you guys some more context around why you should do this and how does it all work. Okay. So, listen, remember, phase 1 is about clarity, right? We need to be clear about what does success look like for us. We need to be clear on what it is that we want. And when we are clear and we have the image in our mind, that's when we're on the path to success. Nothing in this world was created from someone being confused. They were definitely confused at one point, but then they got very clear on what is it that they wanted, right? What does success look like for them? What does the end result look like for them? They got very clear on that, right? And then they started working that image. They started taking action on that image, okay? And so step 2 is really all about visualizing, imagining, going back to the days of fantasy and really saying, you know what is it that I really want in this area? I don't care how small or big or how far out you think it is or how weird you think it is. It doesn't matter. The question is, do you want it? That's what matters. So that's why you're going to want to do this. And how do you do it? Well, let's look at it. This first category I have here is called business. Okay. I have business right here. So let's act like I'm writing mines out. So business, who do I want to become in business? Right? Well, I know I want to become a successful and influential entrepreneur. That's who I want to become in my business. Okay. What do I want to do in business? Right? What is it that I want to be doing? I want to be traveling the nation, speaking at the top leadership and entrepreneur conferences. All right. And what do I want to have? What are some things I want to achieve in my business? Let's bring this down. Okay, I want to earn 50K monthly in my business. I want to hire a team that operates my business. All right. So these are just a couple of ideas, some things that I would love to achieve in my business. Okay. You guys see where I'm going? You see how clear that is? Like in the area of my life that I call business, who do I want to become? I want to become successful and influential as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. What do I want to do? Well, I want to travel the nation, speaking at the top leadership and entrepreneur conferences. What do I want to achieve? Financially, I want to get to 50K a monthly in my business. I also want to hire a team that operates my business. It's so clear, is it not? Right? All we're doing is really taking all those ideas, the fantasies, the dreams, the ambitions that you have in your head, and we're helping you get clear on exactly what it looks like. So this is what you want to do. All right. Now, again, choose the top 3 categories. I have them all listed here. Okay. If you own a business, you've got marketing, sales, operations, right? If you don't have a business, maybe you're in a career, then look at the more personal stuff. Personal development, leadership, family, business, or family, that probably should be career, relationships, income, your health, right? So choose the top 3 areas of your life that you really think are the most important to you right now. Okay. And then once you have those 3 categories, answer these 3 questions for each of those 3 categories. Who do I want to become? What do I want to do? What do I want to be doing? Like if I had it my way, what would I be doing most of the time in my business? I would just be traveling, speaking, coaching, mentoring people. That's it. I don't even want to even be involved in the operation side of my business. Like, that's how clear I am about the type of business I want to build. I'd rather have someone else run all that, and I'm just showing up, speaking, coaching, and mentoring people. What do I want to achieve? Well, I know I got to financially get to a certain point to be able to make that happen. So what's that number for me? What's the first number I see? I want to get to 50K. And I know I got to hire some people to help me get there, right? So I'm getting very clear about what is it that I'm looking to accomplish in my business. All right. So that's just an example. Okay. Any questions on that, please don't hesitate. Just drop it in the chat and we will help you ASAP. Okay. So this is step 2 of our vision. Okay. What have we done up to this point? As you're writing out your vision, what have we done up to this point? We're in phase 1 called clarity. Step 1 is we got very clear on our purpose. What's our reasoning? What's our why? We got to have a why. Every success in life has a why. Everything that happens in life, there's a why behind it. Nothing happens on accident. Everything happens on purpose. So what's your purpose? What's your why? Step 2, which is what we just concluded. Well, now that you know what your reasoning is, let's make a vision around that. Let's create a dream around that. Let's create some images, right? Let's really imagine, what are we talking about here that I want to create a legacy for my family? What are we talking about that I want to inspire the next generation? What are we talking about when we say I want to help people succeed? What does that really look like? That's what step 2 is all about, our vision. And we were able to do that by choosing the 3 categories that I have listed here for you. Just choose your top 3 areas of your life. I call them categories or areas, same thing. Choose the top 3 for you, and then answer the 3 questions in each of those categories. Who do you want to become? What do you want to do? And what do you want to have? Okay? This is step 2. All right. Got one question here. Let me see here. Can you go over what do you mean when you say what do you want to have? Absolutely. No problem. What I mean when I say that, it's simple. And I'm going to say all 3 of these again. The first question is all about, who is it? Who's the person you want to become in this area of your life? That's what it's really all about. Who do you want to become? What's the person you want to become? Question number 2 is, as that person, what would you want to be doing every day? Or weekly or monthly, whatever. What are the results you want to get every single day? Like, what do you want to be doing? Right? If you had it your way, what would you do in your business? And then 3 is, what do you want to achieve? Right? What are the goals in your business you want to achieve? Okay. Now, essentially, all 3 of these questions, the answers are goals in a sense. They're all their own goal. But what do you want to have is all about, like, let's get some concrete, something tangible, right? Something that we could put a number on. What do you want to achieve? Like, what's the number you want to achieve? Maybe, like, give us something concrete, right? That's what question 3 is all about. Hopefully that answered your question. Okay, guys, let's move to step number 3 is your goals. Okay. Like I stated, step number 1 was your reasoning. Step number 2 is your vision. Okay. What am I going to do to express this reasoning, my purpose, my why? What does it really look like for me? Again, I gave you guys the analogy. I told you your mother is getting married to someone. Okay. And the purpose here is to help her have a successful wedding and to be there for her and make her happy. The vision is, hey, I've got to hire the catering company. Also, what do I need to be doing? Like, I need to get let's say the band, right? I need to find the venue. Okay, got it. I need to send out all the RSVPs. Okay. We want to get to 1,000 attendees, right? We need to hire a wedding planning team. Okay, got it. I want to make sure that we are the best bridesmen and groomsmen that my mother has ever experienced, right? That's all in the vision. Now the goal is to go back to that vision that you just created and choose one thing that you're going to focus on first. What's the one thing you're going to focus on first? Okay. What is that one thing you are going to focus on first? Because here's the reality. We all make the mistake in thinking we can do 1,000 things at one time, but that is simply it's just not true. You might be able to start 1,000 things at one time, but you will not finish 1,000 things at one time. Right? So let's reverse that. What we want to do is finish one thing at a time 1,000 times, right? So the goal here is to go back to your vision and choose the number one thing you want most right now that you want to achieve. This is why I asked you guys in the beginning, hey, what's the one thing you want to achieve in the next 90 days? This would be your goal. Okay. Obviously, setting goals will help you create more happiness and confidence around your vision. So review your vision list and choose the goal you want most. Setting clear goals for yourself will automatically accelerate you into achieving them. And the way that we do that is by creating what we call a goal card. Okay. And all you do is you list your goal in the present tense and then you put a date on it. Now, again, some of you guys are at home and you're writing this on some scratch paper, which is totally fine. Just write it out in this format. What's the date? And then you're going to write out, I am so happy and grateful now that, and put it in the present tense. Okay. Put your goal in the present tense. So let's go back to the vision and kind of show you guys exactly what I'm talking about here. I gave you guys my vision in my business. Okay. So what do I want the most? What do I want more than anything? You know what? And now that I'm saying it out loud, guys, traveling and speaking is definitely probably I want the most. I mean, I really want my business to be at 50K monthly, but I mean, if I'm honest and how it makes me feel, traveling and speaking is really that really excites me. So, I would put that, right? You got to put whatever excites you the most, whatever you want the most. Okay. You can't be wrong in this process. All right. So let me put that here. Let's see here. Let me fix the formatting. Now that I have it, I'm going to rewrite it to make it more clear for myself. And I would recommend you do the same thing. Okay. So what I would probably write differently is, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am speaking all over the nation and getting paid richly to do it. Boom. So that's what I would probably write, just to kind of clean it up. So look at your goal and ask, how can I make it a little bit more clear? How can I clean it up a little bit to really, like, you want to write it to where a fifth grader could understand what you just wrote. Like, that's what I'm saying here. Don't make it complicated. It's very simple. Okay. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm speaking all over the nation, getting paid richly to do it. Very simple. I think a fifth grader could understand, oh, yeah, you are a speaker, a motivational speaker, and the nation means you're speaking all over America, and then you're getting paid money for it. Like, it's very simple, right? And that's what you want. You want to be able to look at it and ask, man, would a fifth grader understand what I just wrote down? Because, again, clarity is what you want. Clarity. How do we get clear on something? We keep it very simple. We keep it very simple. Don't overthink it. Okay. Now, some of you guys, because I've been through this process 1,000 times already, some of you guys are still overthinking this process over here. You're trying to figure out, like, well, what is it that I want most of? Just what is the thing that comes to your mind first? Okay. If you had it your way and you could just do one thing on this list, what would be that one thing for you in your vision list? Just use that as your goal right now. Okay. And bring it over here to your goal card and write it in the present tense, and then clean it up a little bit in the format that we have here. So if everyone would do us a favor, comment your goal in the chat box if you're on Zoom with us. And if you're on YouTube or Facebook, just comment down below, what is your goal? Now that I've shown you the format, write it in this format in the present tense, right? Put, I am so happy and grateful now that I'm speaking all over the nation and getting paid richly to do it. But for you, you would put, I'm so happy and grateful now that, and then list your goal in the present tense. Paste that in the comment section below and share that with us, okay? And while you guys are doing that, let's recap what we've been able to accomplish in phase 1. Let's go back to our step-by-step process here. Phase 1 is all about helping you get clear. Clarity is what you need, right? Clarity is like the foundation. You got the a bad foundation, you can't build a house, right? So you need a strong foundation. That's what clarity is all about. When you're very clear on what you want, I mean, it just makes it so much easier for you to really take the action you need to take to get to where you want to go. So we were able to help you do that by helping you rediscover really what your purpose is, because everyone already has it inside. What is your purpose, right? What is your passion? What is your gift, right? What's your legacy? And just putting that all together in a statement. 2 is we helped you get clear on what your vision. All right, now that you know what your reasoning is, you know what your purpose is, what are all the things you're going to do to express this purpose? What are all the things you're going to do to fulfill this purpose? You got this purpose in your life, but what are you doing about it? That's the question. That's why we have a vision. A vision helps us create, okay, here's everything I'm going to be, here's everything I'm going to do, and here's everything I want to achieve. That means that I'm fulfilling my purpose. And then 3, we help you set goals. So we told you to go back to your vision list and just choose the one thing that you want the most and put that in a particular format that we call a goal card. And it starts off by saying, I'm so happy and grateful now that, and then it's your goal written in the present tense. And it's written in a way that a 5th grader could understand it, okay? So let's check back in with you guys and see what our answers are here. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have lost 20 pounds. Okay, I'm going to have some feedback on you, but let me keep going really quick. That's a great start. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm loving myself more and more every day. That's really good. I love that one. I'm so happy and grateful now that the relationship with my children is strong and we are always connected. That's really good. That's really good. Okay, let's see. Let's go to Zoom. I'm so happy and grateful now that I own a nationwide fulfillment centers, and I'm giving people all over the nation easy access to eco-friendly products that help save the planet. That's very clear. That is really good. That's really good right there. That's really good. Okay, let's see. Oh, got one more here. I'm so happy and grateful now that my business is earning $100,000 a month. Okay, that's good. So let's go back to the person you wrote in the chat box. So happy and grateful now that I lost 20 pounds. So what we want to do is not involve any negative words in our goals. All right. It's all about using positive language. Okay. And so the way that I would rewrite that is I would say, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am at my perfect weight. So it's not about, because here's why. If you say, I'm so happy and grateful now that I lost 15 pounds, you're going to naturally already assume you're overweight. I mean, this is just a mindset thing here, okay? I know it sounds very like, oh, does that really make a difference? Yes. It's like saying, my goal is to get out of debt. Okay. Well, if your goal is to get out of debt, what are you going to be thinking about every day? That you're in debt. And then how does that make you feel? Angry and depressed and disappointed and embarrassed. Well, what is that going to cause you to do? Procrastinate. So you don't want to make your goal anything that has anything to do with being negative. You want to make your goal as positive as possible. So instead of saying my goal is I'm so happy and grateful now that I've lost 50 pounds, that implies that you're overweight, and that's what you will think about every day, and that's why it won't happen. So make the goal more about I am so happy and grateful now that I'm at my perfect weight. You start thinking that you're at your perfect weight, you wouldn't think that you're overweight. You would just think, oh, I'm at my perfect weight. Right? I hope that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense to you. Just put it in the comment section, okay? All right, moving on, everybody. Moving on. Let's see here. Let me close that. There we go. All right, now we're going to phase 2. Phase 2, which is mindset. Now, remember, I said phase 1 is all about building the foundation, helping you get clear on exactly what it is that you want. Now, phase 2 is all about, well, who do I need to be in order to achieve what I want? Because I first must be it if I want to achieve it. Okay? Here's the thing. Everyone that ever has anything in their life, it's because of who they are. Like, you have the things that you have in your life because it's who you are. You have the people in your life. Why? Because it's who you are. You attract those people. You attract those things. You attract those results because it's who you are inside. Your objective is to start evolving as a person and becoming the person you're supposed to be, who you want to be, that would achieve the things that you listed out in your vision and that you got clear around your goal, right? So again, if my purpose is to go out there and use my gifts and talents to help people succeed, and the way that I do that is through my coaching, teaching, and mentoring people. Why? So I can make the world a better place. Well, who do I need to be to make that happen? That's what phase 2 is all about. How do I need to start thinking? How do I need to start feeling? How do I need to start acting? Who do I need to become to fulfill that purpose, that vision, and the goals that I have for myself? That is what phase 2 is all about. Okay. So let's move to the very first step in mindset, and that is our self-image. How do you feel about yourself? How do you see yourself? I mean, this right here is what limits most people into accomplishing anything in their life. If you don't believe in yourself, and if you don't see yourself as being successful, you won't do anything that successful people do. You just won't do it. Right. And I often use the analogy like, hey, if someone grew up in the ghetto and someone grew up in the rich part of town, they're going to see themselves differently, right? They're going to have two different perceptions about who they are and what's possible for them. Someone who grew up in the ghetto does not see themselves as a person who's going to get out. Most of the time, that doesn't happen. They see themselves as a poor person. They feel poor. They feel victimized. They see victimization, right? That's all they know. Person who's rich, most of the time, they don't see things that way. They see themselves as abundant, prosperous, possible. Anything can happen. I can do anything. Now, a lot of this has to do with your own conditioning, how you grew up. Maybe you had parents that encouraged you most of the time. So naturally, you are a person that you look at yourself with high self-esteem and confidence, and you really don't, you really never get down on yourself. But the vast majority of people out there, that's not the case. They had parents who were very heavily critical of them, right? Very discouraging language, a lot of language that you're stupid, you're dumb, what's wrong with you? You're always getting in trouble, you're no good, like just nothing but negative information was going into your mind as a child. And so naturally, as you become an adult, you feel that way about yourself. You feel like you're not enough. You feel like you're not worthy. You feel like you're not deserving. You feel like, you're not successful, right? Not because you chose to really feel that way. It's because your environment made you feel that way. We are all a product of our own environment when we turn 18. But after 18 years old, it is our responsible to get out of that mindset of being a product of our environment and go and create our own environment. Go become the person that we are meant to become. And every one of you guys on here, you guys are all meant for greatness. You guys all are able to impact lives in your own way. You all can make the world a better place, and it starts in your own world in the way that you see yourself. That's what self-image is all about. Now, I know firsthand what it means to be very depressed, to not believe in myself, okay, to walk around very angry and really buy into the idea that nobody understands me. I know exactly what that's like. That's all self-image. The bottom line is this. What you've got to start taking responsibility for is yourself and how you carry yourself and how you see yourself. Nobody's doing that to you. We are all doing it to ourselves, either in a positive way or in a negative way. So I know what it's like to be in that position and not really believe in yourself and to feel that you don't deserve the money. You don't deserve the success. You don't deserve the recognition. You don't deserve genuine compliments. I know exactly what that feels like. And guess what? You are wrong for thinking that. Not that it's your fault, but I'm telling you, you don't deserve to do that to yourself. That's what I mean by you're wrong. Don't do that anymore. you know? And it's easier said than done, of course. But this is why we're going through this process. All right. And here's the thing: a millionaire and a bum on the corner, they both have one thing in common. They both have a self-image, and they both are obligated to improve their self-image. How does a millionaire get to become a multimillionaire? How does a multimillionaire become a billionaire? They improve their self-image. They improve the way they see themselves. They carry themselves differently. They evolve. They grow. The person they were 20 years ago is not the person today. Same thing with someone who's down and out and on the corner and got their life together, bought a house, started a family, and is living a great life today. Same thing. They stopped looking at themselves as a victim. They stopped making excuses. They stopped thinking that they were poor, and they started to think about what was possible, to start to see themselves differently. Same thing in our health, right? We got to see ourselves as healthy individuals. So how do we do that? How do we do that? Well, we got to understand that we must become aware of how we see and feel about ourselves, because the things that you do and the things you don't do is controlled by that. Okay. So this means that your business, your family, your relationships, your health, your income, it's only going to become successful if you become successful inside, when you start seeing yourself as that person. So how does it work? Well, it's very, very simple, guys. I want you to think about, what are the 3 emotions I want to feel about myself? Okay. What are the 3 emotions I want to feel about myself? We're just going to go one thing at a time here. I'm not even going to talk about the other 2. Let's just start there. I want you guys to comment in the chat, all right, box. What are the 3 emotions you want to feel about yourself more and more? Okay. Now I'll give you guys some examples. Okay. So confident is an emotion, right? Grateful is an emotion. Enthusiastic. Is that how you spell it? Yep, that's how you spell it. Okay. What are the 3 emotions for you? You might say, I want to feel happy, grateful. I want to feel, what are some other emotions, right? Joyful is another one. Maybe you want to feel that way about yourself. Uh, healthy, right? What are some other emotions? Let me actually give us some juice here to really think about this. List of emotions and feelings. List of positive emotions and feelings. Let's see what Google has to tell us. Grateful, calm, relaxed, uh, hopeful, joy. Let's go somewhere else here. Confident, yes. Eager, abundant. Okay. Calm again. Yep. Serenity. I keep seeing that a lot. Inspired, positive, faithful. These are all emotions that you can feel, right? So what I want you guys to do is comment in the chat box. What are the 3 emotions you want to feel about yourself? Okay. Just write those down. You want to feel excited. You want to feel confident. right? You want to feel inspired. What are those emotions you want to feel about yourself? And think about it. Think about it from this perspective. You have your goal, right? You have your goal, right? My goal is to, like in this scenario, is to speak around the nation, right? To be a national speaker and get paid a lot of money to do it. So how do I need to start feeling about myself in order to do that? Well, I know I need to feel very confident. I know I need to feel very relaxed. And I need to feel very grateful. Because I know those three emotions alone will get me in the door every single time. And not only will it get me in the door, but when I go to speak on that stage and I feel confident, relaxed, and grateful, everybody's going to love it because that's a positive energy that I would be expressing. So why not just start feeling that way right now? Right? That's the purpose of phase 2. We got to start being that person right now so we can get on the path of achieving our goals. Step number 2 of this self-image process is, what are the 3 ways you want to see yourself differently moving forward? How should you see yourself if you were a person that would achieve the goals that you wanted to achieve that we did in phase 1? How would you see yourself differently? Right? Maybe you say, I would see myself as a hero. I would see myself successful. Okay. I would see myself hero, successful, let's say driven, right? I am a hero, I'm successful, I'm driven. That's how I would see myself. Again, let's go back to this and really think about what I'm saying. If you guys have questions, don't hesitate to put it in the chat box here. It's very simple. Your self-image is all about how you habitually see and feel about you. And why is that so important? Because you cannot achieve the goals that you've set out if you don't become that person first. You have to become that person. You got to start thinking and feeling and acting like that person to achieve your goals. That's the way that it works. That's why most people don't achieve their goals. Matter of fact, did you guys know that only 8% of goals that are ever set in life end up being achieved? Just 8%. That means the other 92%, when people set goals, 92% of the time, it's not going to happen. One, they don't even have a plan. That's usually why. Most of the time, it's not even aligned with what they really want. And 3, they're not even that person. You got to be this person to get there, right? I'm on this broadcast right now, being able to reach so many people on Facebook and YouTube, people on Zoom. Why? Because 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I started to see myself as a person who was successful in coaching and teaching people. So step 1, we talked about, how do I need to feel about myself? And how would I feel about myself if I did achieve my goal? How would I feel about myself? I would feel confident. I would feel relaxed. I would feel grateful. How would I see myself if I did achieve my goal? I would see myself as a hero. I would see myself as very successful. And I would see myself as a driven person, right? So that's what step 2 is all about. Now, step 3, same concept here. I just want you to list 3 answers. How would you act differently? Let's say you achieved your goal. How would you act differently? How would you carry yourself differently? Right? How would you behave differently? Right? Well, I would be more focused for sure. Okay? I would definitely be a more focused individual, because by achieving that type of goal, I'm like, I know I could do anything. I'm so driven, I'm so focused on it, right? How else do I need to act? I'm going to put here committed. I often tell myself I need to act out my commitments. If I'm committed to something, I need to act it out. How else do I need to act? Here's a good one, and I've learned this over the past few years for sure. patient. Act patient. Because in order for me to pull this goal off, to achieve this big goal, I am going to go through rejection. I'm going to have objections. I'm going to have obstacles. I'm going to have moments where I feel like nothing is going my way. And I'm like, what the heck am I doing? And I got to act patient in those moments. So why not just start being that person today? Why not just automatically, let's start acting more patient? When someone says something, when somebody does something, regardless of the area of your life, exercise the habit of being patient. Because in order for you to get to that goal, this is me talking to myself basically, right? I need to be more patient. If I'm not patient, I'm going to make decisions that are coming from a place of lack and scarcity. And that sends me down the path of results I don't want. So this is what your self-image is all about. You're literally creating a new you. The person you were yesterday is not going to get you to your goal. Let's just say that right now. Let's just be honest. The person you are today isn't even going to get you to your goal. It's the person you're writing out right here in your self-image. This is the person that's going to get you there. A person who feels confident, they're relaxed, and they're grateful. They see themselves as a hero, successful, and driven. They act very focused, they're committed, and they're very patient. That sounds like a person who would succeed at anything that they're doing, right? Am I right? So put in the comment section, what is your self-image? Now, I reduced this down to like a fifth grader level, okay? Not to insult anybody's intelligence, but to help you guys make progress on this. How do you want to feel? How do you want to see yourself? And how do you want to start acting to create your self-image? And you can dive deeper by adding more emotions and more characteristics, but just keep it 3 per section here, okay? This is your self-image. All right. Let's move to step number 5. Hold on. Let me make sure I don't have any questions. Make sure I don't have any questions here. Any questions? Okay, no questions. Okay, awesome. All right, let's move to our beliefs. Our beliefs. Okay. Why is our beliefs so important? Because now that you're going to start acting like this person, you've got to believe that what you're going after is possible for you. And you've got to start exercising that belief in your behavior. Okay? You have to. This is also known as faith, right? When you believe in something, there's a certain level of expectation. You believe when you put the key in your front door to unlock it, it will unlock and you will be able to open the door. You believe that without a doubt. You believe when you put that key in the ignition in your car that it will turn on. You expect it to happen. So what we've got to do is look at some of our beliefs and ask ourselves, hey, is there a belief that is contradicting what I'm trying to do here? Is there a belief that is holding me back from doing what I know I should be doing? Maybe I believe it's too hard. Maybe I believe I'm not worthy enough. Maybe I believe I don't deserve it. Maybe I believe I'm not experienced. Maybe I believe it's not possible. What is that belief that you're holding on to that is stopping you from doing what you know you should be doing, right? This is why beliefs are so powerful. And let's go back to this. You didn't even create your beliefs. Your parents did that. The society that you grew up in did that. Your environment created your belief system. Our responsibility at this point is not to blame that. It's not a victim mentality type of thing. It's just, it is what it is. Our job is to become aware of what is it about my belief system that I need to upgrade to get to where I want to go. This is what the blueprint for success is all about. Okay. So let's look at it. What have I been believing in that limits my ability to take action? It's a very simple question. Now, I'll give you guys some great examples of what I went through, and maybe it'll help you get it out of your mind and on this paper. Is I used to believe that people don't want to be better. It's easy to get wrapped up into that. I used to believe that people don't have the money. Let me improve this formatting really quick. Okay. I used to believe I am not enough to be successful as a coach. These are things that I used to believe in. Now, believe it or not, I didn't create that belief. It was already in me. Because somewhere along the line, I was exposed to poverty. I was exposed to people who had bad money issues or bad money problems. So I started to believe that most people don't have any money. And you know what the truth is? Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. But get this, if we went in everyone's house in America, I can guarantee everyone has something on their shelf, in their closet, in their living room that they didn't even have the money for, but because they wanted it, they got the money and they figured it out. So that belief is ridiculous. That people don't want to be better. This is very old belief of mine because there was a time I didn't want to be better. I was just being a victim, right? So what have I been believing in that limits my ability to take action? Now let's go back to the goal. If my goal is to go out there and speak around America and really help people become successful, if I'm believing that people don't want to be better, wouldn't that contradict that goal? Wouldn't that make me not want to go after that goal because I'm holding on to this belief? Right? Or I'm not enough to be successful as a speaker or a coach. Wouldn't that hold me back? So it's really important to really look at your beliefs. Now, listen, one of the ways, and I don't have it written down here, but one of the ways to really catch what your limiting beliefs are is to look at how you emotionally react. How are you triggered? If somebody walked up to you today, right? So some of you guys had, let me see here. Some of you guys had goals that you wanted to be, let's go to the health goal. Mary said, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm at my perfect weight. Her goal is to be at her perfect weight. Got it. So let's say tomorrow, Mary, someone walked up to you and they said, hey, I have this plan for you to follow. It's going to help you eat better and get in the best shape of your life. Do you want to do it? Here's how you know you have a limiting belief. Your initial reaction would probably be, I don't know if I have the time for that. Or I don't know if I could do that right now. Or I don't think it's possible for me. You know, I hurt my back last year. I don't even think physically I could do it. Right? Immediately you start rejecting the idea. You have a limiting belief. Why else would we reject ideas if we did not believe the contrary, right? We are already conditioned people. We have to wake up and become aware of our conditioning. And it's nobody's fault. That's just the balance of life, right? The bad side is we're conditioned not to grow and step outside our comfort zone. The good side is we have the will, the focus, the imagination to do it. So we have to become more aware of what is it that I'm believing in? What is this nonsense I'm buying into? What opinion am I really giving energy to that's holding me back? And then once you have that here, then you just write out the polar opposite. What must I start believing in that empowers me to take action? Everyone wants to be better. People have the money for the things that they want. I can be successful in anything I do, right? Now, I told you to write out one belief. I've got 3 on here just to give you an example of what I mean to write out the polar opposite. Okay. This is what we're looking at here. Let me zoom back in for you guys. There we go. So you got your limiting belief and you got your power belief, okay? Limiting belief, what's that idea that you're holding on to that you know is preventing you from taking action? What's the polar opposite of that belief? That's what you would write over here, okay? This is the belief section. So let's catch up, everybody. Let's make sure everybody is where they need to be in this process. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Okay, let's check in. Make sure you're on the same page. We are following a blueprint for success where this step-by-step process will take you from not achieving the things that you want, your goals, to achieving the things that you want. How did we do that? Phase 1 was all about helping you get clear. Clear on what? What is your purpose? Why? Why are you going to want to achieve these goals? You got to have a purpose. 2, what's your vision around that purpose? What does it really look like? Let's really get into the details. What does it mean that you want to go out there and help people and you want to be healthier and you want to leave a legacy? What does that really look like? Who are you trying to become? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to achieve? We wrote that out. Then we said, all right, well, what's the one thing you're going to focus on moving forward? What's the one thing you want the most? That is the goal. Then we went to phase 2, which is mindset, which is where we are right now. And we got clear on what is the self-image? How do I need to see and feel about myself moving forward? I need to be that person if I want to achieve those goals. So if your goal is to double your income or triple your revenue, how do you need to be in order to do that? Right? We have to keep growing, right? And then we talked about what do you need to start believing in to make that happen. Now we're going to get into our habits. What are we physically doing every day that's preventing us from getting there? And what do we need to start doing every day to get there, right? So let's go to the habits here. What must I stop doing that is taking time from what I should be doing? I'm going to give you guys some great examples because this is really good. Spending hours on social media, right? Another good one would be going to the bar 3 times a week, right? Not saying you do this personally, but there are people who do this, of course. Overworking myself, right? Sometimes what you're doing is you're working way too much and not making the time for yourself, which ends up backfiring, and then you don't end up achieving your goal, right? I'm just giving you guys 3 examples here. What is that physical thing that you are doing, right, that is taking time away from what you should be doing instead? Everybody already knows what they should be doing. You know what to do already, really. Everything that we're writing out in this blueprint, you already know. I'm just helping you organize it and get it into an actual plan that you can follow. But you already know you should stop spending hours on social media, me too included, which this is why I don't really go on there often. I just go because of my business. Going to the bar 3 times a week, or here we go. Let's change that. Let's make one that everybody can relate to. Eating out every day. Right? If your goal is to be at your perfect weight, eating out every day ain't going to help you get there. Right? Overworking yourself. Well, that doesn't work because you burn out. So all that hard work you put in is for nothing. Because then you get sick and then you can't physically do anything anymore. And then the work piles up. And then you're back to square zero. Right? So these are bad habits that people have. So the question is towards you, what must you stop doing that is taking time away from what you should be doing, right? And then the success habit is the polar opposite of that. What must you start doing daily or weekly that will move you closer to your goal? So let's just say the polar opposite. Instead of spending hours on social media, right? Let's see here. Polar opposite of spending, or let me see. Let me change that. Wasting time on social media. So I wouldn't even say limiting. I would just say prioritizing my social media use. Instead of eating out every day, cooking one meal every day or something. Instead of overworking myself, take consistent time for me. I'm going to help you guys get a little bit more clear on these things. I'm just giving you guys examples. And by the way, if you have a habit you want to share, put it in the chat box below, okay? And we'll use it. All right. Actually, we already have one. So let me use it really quick. Spending too much time watching YouTube. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Let's just roll that up under social media, okay? You just got to prioritize your YouTube use, right? Like instead of watching it so much, just what should you be doing instead? Right? So, instead of wasting time on social media, maybe you could spend time following up. Right? Do you have a business? Put that in the chat box. That was I don't want to butcher your name. Do you have a business? Because what I would do is I would just put follow up with my leads or whatever, right? Instead of that time you're spending on YouTube, replace that time with following up with your leads. Just imagine how much more business you would get if you did that. Instead of eating out every day, imagine if you cooked one meal every day, just one meal. Let's say for breakfast, don't even count that as a meal cook. Let's just say you wake up in the morning and you have a smoothie or some oatmeal, whatever, or maybe you don't even eat breakfast. And then for lunch, let's say you cook your lunch. Wouldn't that make a huge difference in your wallet and the habit of going to eat out every day and the time that you're going to have? Overworking yourself. What if you just took, look at this. What if you just said, hey, you know what? Sundays, every week on Sundays is self-care day. Sundays is self-care day. What if you did that to yourself? Or what if for 1 hour every day, you did something you really love to do? Maybe you love playing the piano. Maybe you love drawing. Maybe you love hiking. Maybe you love running, working out. What is that thing that you really love that really recharges you? Maybe you could do that instead. So instead of trying to overwork yourself and burn out, make time to do self-care work. This would be a success habit. I mean, guys, this blueprint right here, I'm telling you, you are going to be one successful person for sure. It's just about getting very clear on who do I need to be to get to my goal, right? And so that's what you guys could write out. Now, for example, for me, it would be following up with my leads or reaching out to a new, person who's in charge of a conference every day, right? Something of that nature. Okay. Now, I told you guys earlier in the workshop that I was using the analogy of your mother getting married, right? And I said the purpose is to help her have a successful wedding. The vision is you had to hire the caterer, you have to get the venue, you got to figure out the hotel, the RSVPs. You want people to be the best. You're going to need a team, all this stuff, right? The goal is what? What's the first thing you're going to do? Well, maybe the first thing you're going to do is get the venue, right? That is the goal. All right. Well, how do I need to start acting every day to make sure that happens? Well, I need to be on it. I need to be persistent. I need to be very patient because I want to get a good deal, right? What do I need to believe in? I need to believe that I can do this for my mother, that this can be successful. Well, what is my success habit? Every single day, I'm going to take one action to making sure this wedding is successful, right? So listen, you're going to do this already, but we're really helping you get this very organized and a clear plan. All right. Any questions whatsoever, please put them in the comment section below. Any questions? All right. This has been phase 2 mindset. Who do we need to be to achieve the goals that we want to achieve in our life? That is what this phase has been all about. We just completed step 6, which is our success habits. All right. Let me see. We got some questions, or actually we have some comments. This is good stuff. Yep, it really is. Thank you. Oh, I feel so motivated right now. That's good. And I'm going to show you step number 9 is going to help you keep that motivation. So stay through the end. Let's see. This process is really helping me see the light. I love that. That's good. Self-image is so powerful. We've got hearts. We've got likes. Okay, guys. Thank you. Love it. Love it. Love the feedback. Remember, this workshop is all about you guys. It's all about you. So let's keep making you successful and move to phase number 3, which is the last part of this workshop, called action. So remember, nothing's going to happen if we don't take action. We know this, right? You can read all the books, you can watch YouTube videos, you can, not just this workshop, you can go to all the workshops you want, but if you don't take action, nothing's going to happen, right? So we got to take action. But now what I've helped you do is, one, I got you clear on exactly what success looks like for you. You got to be clear. Then I helped you get clear on what does your mindset need to be? Because if your mindset is not in order, when you go to take action, you won't. You'll just immediately stop. You'll procrastinate, or when an obstacle hits, you'll quit. So now that we're in phase 3 action, I'm going to show you the most simplest way to start being the most productive, effective person you possibly can be, which is going to help you achieve your goals even faster. The first step to doing that is coming up with an action plan. I'm going to have to kind of zoom out and make sure you guys can see this. Okay. Now, this action plan is as elementary as it ever is going to be when it comes to success. I mean, this is as simple as it can get. And I often say the reason why people don't take action and the reason why people fail is because they make everything so complex. You don't need some crazy advanced strategy to achieve your goals. You just need to keep it simple for yourself so you can make progress every single day. That's what it's about, doing the little thing every single day. Then sooner or later, you wake up one day and boom, you've achieved your goal. So let's look at how do we do that in step number 7, our action plan. Well, the first thing we do, we start brainstorming ideas. What are all the ways that I can achieve my goal? Everyone has a goal here on this workshop. So now this is your opportunity to start thinking about what are all the ways, what are the strategies that I can employ or deploy or execute that would help me achieve my goal? What are some ideas? Let's write them out. Now, for the people who had their health goals, there's quite a few of you guys. What are some ideas that would help you get to the weight that you want to get to? We had a couple of you guys talk about the income you wanted to reach, the revenue you wanted to reach in your business. What are the ideas that you can use to help you do that? Right? And start, just paste them all into the chat box. Just start typing them all in there for us, okay? And while you guys are typing those brainstorming ideas, don't think about why you can't do it. Think about why you can. All right. It's very important, right? Listen, it's so natural for us to immediately start thinking about why we can't do something. You know why that is? Conditioning, our environment. Our parents told us thousands of times, you can't do that. The teacher, you can't do that. Right? Social media, society, our friends, culture, family. You can't do that. That's not possible. So what happens? We become an adult, and what do? We turn around and we do it to ourselves. Oh my God, I want to start this business. Oh, wait. I can't do that. So don't do that right now. Just think about all the ways that you can. What can you do to achieve your goals? What can you do? What can you do to get to the weight that you want to get to? What can you do to grow the revenue in your business? What can you do to improve the relationship with your children? What can you do to find the right person for you? What can you do to be more happier? Just write out your ideas. All right, we have them coming in now. Got a lot here. So let's see. Oh, that's a good one. That's what I was thinking about. So someone put personal trainer. Yep, that's right. You can get a personal trainer. Here. Oh, that's a good one. Plant-based diet, of course. Hey, advertising. Got it. Let's see here. Marketing. Cool. Dinner with kids. All right. I think I know what you mean. Like you're always gonna have dinner with your kids, right? Of course. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. What else? Let me change that. I don't know why that's. I'll bold it. What else? What else can you do to move towards your goal? What are some ideas that you have to achieve your goal? What can you do? Where you are right now, doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter your present results. What can you do to start moving in that direction? Wake up earlier. Okay, cool. What else? What else you can do? Accountability partner. Really good one. All right. I don't think I have any more. Oh, yeah, I do. I have some more space. Let's see. What else? What else we got? Hire a team. Is that what yeah, hire a team. Okay. Set up a referral program. Got it. Now, listen, if you're looking at my screen, these ideas are it's from everybody on this workshop right now, okay? So don't be confused here. Um all we're doing is thinking about what are all the ways that I can achieve my goal. All of you guys have different goals, of course. We got people that they have a health goal, people who have business, people who want to improve the relationship with their children, people who said they wanted to be healthy or happier, right? Again, about business. So this is what we have. All right. So then the next thing to do. So now that you brainstorm all your ideas and you got them all down and you did not discriminate or judge any of them, you just put it on the paper. The second thing you want to do is choose what is the one strategy that you're going to execute. What's the one thing that you're going to do? So just choose one. Right? So maybe your goal was let's go back to Mary. I've been kind of picking on you here. You said you want to be at your perfect weight. So you said, hey, you can get a personal trainer or eat a plant-based diet. Just choose one. We want to make this process as simple as possible. Do you want the personal trainer or do you want to go after a plant-based diet? Just choose one of those. Okay. Plant-based diet. All right, cool. Plant-based diet is going to be your main strategy to achieving the goal of being at your perfect weight. Okay. Now, some of you guys are like, why does he keep saying perfect weight, being at your perfect weight? Because there's no reason to think from a negative point of view, which means the goal is not to get out of debt. The goal is not to lose 50 pounds. The goal is to earn a certain amount of money, to live a prosperous life. The goal is to be at the perfect weight and live a healthy life. It's different energy when we change our language. The primary strategy that she wants to use is the plant-based diet. Awesome. So, again, I'm not insulting anybody's intelligence here, but I'm telling you, most people don't do this. It's all in their head, and that's why they're not productive because they haven't gotten it out of their head and on a piece of paper that clearly articulates, here's what I'm going to do. So the primary strategy for Mary is she's going to start eating a plant-based diet. Okay, cool. So what's the first action step that you can take, Mary, to do that? What's the first action step? Go shopping. Okay. I think that's one of the first steps, but I don't think it's the first step. You're close. If you're going to go shopping, what do you need before you go shopping? Right? You've never been on a plant-based diet. You don't even know what it is. You don't even know what does it entail. So what would you need? A plan? Close. You're very, very close. Grocery list. Yes. Step 1 is get or purchase a plant-based grocery list. Okay. Now, let's go to the second thing you said. which was to go grocery shopping, right? What's the third step that you could take? You've got your grocery list. You went grocery shopping, so you had the food. Now what? Now what are you going to do? Or what can you do? What's the next action step? Let me help you. Clean out your kitchen, right? What that means is replace all of the food that you don't want to eat. Get it out of there, right? There you go. I'm gonna help you here, Mary, because I really want you to succeed here. So step 4, I would say, is you have to um, schedule the cooking time into your schedule. Like, for example, I think it's very helpful for people who are really looking to upgrade their nutrition and their diet is to get very clear on the time that they're going to spend to do that in the first place. So, what I would say is, for example, in the morning, how much time are you going to dedicate to making sure that you start your morning off with the right meal? Let's just say you're like, you know what, I'm going to wake up 10 minutes earlier to make sure, or before I go to work, I'm going to make sure 15 minutes prior or 30 minutes prior, I'm in the kitchen and I'm making my breakfast or my oatmeal or my smoothie, right? Maybe for lunch, maybe you have to cook the night before, right? And already have it ready, right? Maybe for dinner, you say, hey, you know what? I got to make sure that, by 6 p.m., I'm in the kitchen and I'm doing this, right? You just getting clear on yourself, like, hey, I got to make sure I can fit this in. You can fit it in. It's all about priorities. Okay. What would be step number 5 that you can do? I think that's good for right now, but I think that's why I put schedule cooking time. Here's a good one. Join an accountability group. Right? So let's just stop there, right? I think that's pretty simple. So let's kind of back up here and really look at what we're doing here, guys. Okay? What are we doing? Why are we here? We are here to achieve the goals in our life, whether it's a business goal, relationship goal, a health goal, doesn't matter what it is. We know that step 1 is you got to be committed. You're not committed, it ain't going to happen. But you guys are committed. That's why you're here. Step 2 is you got to have a blueprint. You got to have a plan that you're going to follow to make it happen. Right? And that's what we're going through. And 3, you got to have the right support. You got to have somebody hold you accountable to keep you on track. Now, this workshop is all about step number 2 is giving you the blueprint. So far, how have we been able to do this? Well, we do it in 3 phases. Phase 1 is clarity, helping you get clear on what your purpose is. What is the vision on how you're going to fulfill this purpose? What is the goal you're going to set? Like, what are you going to start focusing on first? So now that you're clear on why you're waking up in the morning and what's your reasoning to go out there and do big things and be better and have better things in your life, now that you know what that looks like, which is what your vision is all about, what does it look like to be better? What does it look like to achieve better things? What does that really look like for me in the different areas of my life? Now that I have that, what am I going to work towards first? That's what the goal was all about. Then phase 2 was mindset. Well, you got to start acting like that person. You got to think, feel, and act like the person who would achieve the goals that you have in your life. It's just that simple. You will not achieve the goals that you want to achieve if you don't start acting like that person, which means you got to start thinking like them, feeling like them, acting like them. Right? And so we went over that in the self-image step, which is step number 4. Then we addressed the belief system. What are some things that you might be holding on to as a belief that would contradict what you're trying to achieve? You want to earn more money, but you believe money is bad. That probably is not going to be successful. So you need to become aware of that negative belief. So when it happens, you can follow it up with the power belief. No, money is good. I believe I do deserve the money that I want. I do believe that having money is a great thing. Right? Then we talked about success habits. What is the physical action that you're doing right now that is wasting your time, right? That is preventing you from doing the things you know you should be doing. And everybody's guilty in some aspect of their life of doing this, spending too much time on social media, eating out every single day, hanging around the wrong people, right? Spending too much time watching Netflix. It could be whatever. But figure out, where am I wasting my time? And then replace that with, what should I be doing instead to move closer to my goal? That's the success habit we want to form. Because see, here's the thing about habits. We must replace habits. It's not really creating new habits. What you're doing is you're replacing habits. And if you don't replace a bad habit with a good one, you'll just create more bad habits, really. Now we're on to phase 3, which is taking action. And we just went over, what is my action plan? I'm clear on what I want. I'm clear on who I need to be, how I need to start acting. So what do I need to start doing? What's my strategy here? This is what we covered in step number 7, the action plan. And that is what we've just completed. So let's go back to that. I want to make sure everybody's on the same page and you guys are all caught up. The action plan here. And the way we did that is we helped you brainstorm ideas on how you can achieve your goal. Then we helped you get clear on what is the main strategy that you're going to execute to get there. Just choose one way of doing it. And then getting clear on, what are the steps that I'm going to take to make this strategy happen, right? And I helped Mary do that for her in eating a plant-based diet. Now, let's go to step number 8, which is support, or also known as specialized knowledge. And here, what this is all about is really helping you identify, what is the help that I need to achieve my goals? Because everybody needs help. You need help. I need help. The CEO of Starbucks needs help. Everybody needs help. So what type of help do I need, though? That's the question here, right? And I have it broken down into 3 different categories for you to really start thinking about this. What expertise do you need to achieve your goal? What are you not an expert in, right? What expert do you need to consult to help you move forward towards your goal? What type of coaching do you need? What support do you need to make sure you stay on the right track? And then 3, what partnerships, what relationships, what networks do you need to connect with to help you get there? These are the 3 different categories of what I'm talking about, the support that you need to follow through and really pull this goal off. Here's the mistake that people make with this, is they're trying to do it by themselves, and it's never going to happen. You can't do it by yourself. You just can't do it. You're going to need help sooner or later. So why not get ahead of that and figure out, what is the type of help that I need? What is the expertise that I need to access? Who are the people I need to surround myself with so I can start being this person I need to be to pull off this goal, right? So let's look at this a little further. What expertise do I need to achieve my goal? So let's go back to Mary, because it's just been a great example. She said that she wanted to be at her perfect weight. So what is the expertise that she needs? She said she was going to use a plant-based diet. So maybe she needs, a plant-based doctor, right? Maybe she should go and really connect with a plant-based doctor, or a holistic doctor, right? Someone who's very familiar with plant-based eating, who's an expert, who's spent many, many years helping their clients become successful in it, right? Why would you want to go to that person? Because that's the person you should be asking questions to. Don't ask me the question when it comes to plant-based. Now, I eat plant-based, but I'm not a plant-based doctor, right? So go to a plant-based doctor who knows what they're talking about, who can look at you and your health and where you are, and look at everything going on in your life and really give you an expert opinion. Don't go to your broke uncle. Don't go to your aunt who's 100 pounds overweight and ask them, hey, do you think I should do this diet? Don't ask that person. They don't have the results you want. This is why this is a crucial step to our success. We got to stop going to people who do not have the results we want, and we got to start going to the people who do and ask them the questions. Okay? Because what this person's going to do is really help you refine if we go back up here, your action plan, right? So let's look at it another way. Let's go back to our scenario where I was talking about your mother's going to get married, right? The purpose is you know she's going to have an amazing wedding, and you want to make sure that happens. That's why you're going to help her. The vision is you had to get all the RSVP tickets. You have to find a caterer. You got to find the venue. You got to think about the flights. You got to make sure people get the invites. You got to make sure the dresses are ordered and the suits are tailored and all this stuff, right? The first goal that you said that you had is, hey, you know what? I got to get these RSVP invites out. Okay, cool. Self-image wise, I need to be very confident about this. I need to follow through on this. I need to act like I know what I'm doing. All right, belief. I need to believe that this is possible, that this wedding can be the most successful thing my mother has ever experienced. Got it. What about the habit? Every single day, I'm dedicating 1 hour to pulling this off. That's my habit. All right, my action plan. Well, first, I'm going to start looking up a list of all of the venues. Then I'm going to contact all of the venues. Then I'm going to follow up with all of the venues. Then I'm going to compare the quotes. Then I'm going to make a decision. Okay, well, how does step 8 come into line with this? Well, I'm going to reach out to a wedding planner, right? I'm going to reach out to someone who's great at this stuff, right? So you see how clear and simple and how step by step, it's not even overwhelming. It's very, very simple to follow, right? That's what the blueprint for success is all about. Okay, so what coaching do I need? This is the second part. What support do I need? Maybe you need an accountability group, right? A nutrition accountability group. Maybe other people in the same thing, or a plant-based accountability group, right? Now, if you're the one, I was just using the wedding as an example, what type of coaching or support would you need? Maybe you need to get a team together. Excuse me, pardon me. Maybe you need to get a team together, right? That's going to help you follow through. That's going to help you stay organized, right? But I'm going to keep riding with Mary because I think her example was very, very simple. What partnerships do you need to make? Well, what this means is, who do you need to surround yourself with more? Who do you need to connect with? Hey, I need to devote to making more healthier friends, right? People who are healthy already. Or how about this? People who eat plant-based. They already understand. They already been through what I'm going through, right? Or they're going through it right now. So maybe I need to make some relationships, some partnerships with those people, right? And now what have we been able to accomplish? We've been able to accomplish I think one of the most crucial things when it comes to creating success in our life. Instead of trying to do it on our own, we've identified the help that we need, and not help from your broke uncle or your overweight aunt or your negative cousin. No, help from someone who's an expert. Help from someone who's going to hold you accountable. Help from someone who's going through the same thing or has the results you want. This is what we've been able to do in this step. That's why it's so crucial. It is so natural and easier for people to just go ask their friends, what do you think I should do? Do you think this is a good idea? Don't do that. That is a huge mistake. They don't even know what you're talking about. Do they have a successful business? Are they living a healthy life? Do they have a great relationship with their children? Do they have a great marriage? Right? I mean, are they earning a lot of money? If the answer is no on any of those, don't ask them any questions in that area because they're not an expert. Right? So don't even do it to ourselves. This is why step 8 is so crucial. This is the thing, guys. We don't need to have all the answers. That's the great part about this step is you don't need to have all the answers. You just need to have a simple plan that you're going to follow, a blueprint. And part of this blueprint is getting you to realize, hey, I don't need to know everything about plant-based. I just need to go to someone who knows everything about it and have them give me the bottom line. Here's what you need to do. All right. Step 8 is in the completion books. Any questions in regards to that? Let's see. Let's check back in with you guys. Let's see here. Very, very clear. Thank you. Okay, awesome. What do you mean by partnerships? Okay, I could rewrite this in a different way too, right? I was just thinking about this. Here's another way that I could write it. I'll just have to do this. I could say, what relationships do I need to build? That's another way of saying it. Think about it in that perspective. What relationships do you need to build to help you achieve your goals? You can't do this by yourself. We've already established that. First, you can't do it by yourself. And secondly, you cannot consult people who did not have the results you want. Can't do that. That's huge mistakes. You got to surround yourself with people who have the results or are doing what you want to do, can hold you accountable and support you, and can give you the right expert opinions and knowledge around what you're trying to do. This is why you're on this Blueprint for Success workshop. I'm an expert in helping people become successful. I'm great at doing this. If you do exactly what I'm telling you to do and you follow these steps, I can guarantee it will happen. Now, I can't tell you how long it's going to take you, but I can tell you that it will happen with absolute certainty because I'm an expert. Okay? So that's what we've been able to do in step 8. And hopefully that answered your question. All right, let's get to step 9. We are pretty much home stretch here. We're at the end. So step 9 is all about writing out our blueprint journal. Okay. Here's the thing. And I have it written here on the screen. So really take a look at this. The most successful people in the world all have the same thing in common. They have daily rituals. There's something they do every single day to make sure that they are going to be successful. All the most successful people do it. So this is not a random thing. This is not a theory. This is not even my opinion. This is facts. They have a daily ritual every single day dedicated to helping them improve on an emotional level, in their spirituality, in their productivity, in their communication, to stay on track with their goals. They have rituals. Step 9 is a ritual that I want to share with you guys to help you bring everything we've done in this workshop together. It's called the Blueprint Journal. And every day, what you're going to do is write in this Blueprint Journal, review this Blueprint Journal, and read the stuff that you have in your Blueprint Journal. Because that's what's going to help you stay on track. Now, the way that it looks is like this. So if you guys are starting to notice, hey, step 1 of the workshop today was purpose, right? Step 2 was our vision. Step 3 was our goal. Step 5 was self-image technically, or step 4, sorry. But don't worry about the order here, okay? Just go along with this. So step 4 on this format here is habit. Then you got your belief, your self-image. And then when it came to the action plan, which was step number 7, what we've done for you is, hey, just list out the 6 most important things that you're going to do tomorrow, right? Just already have it in your mind before you go to sleep. What am I doing tomorrow? Why do you think so many people wake up every single day filled with anxiety and overwhelm? Is because they don't even know what they're going to do. They did not take the time out to sit down and write in a journal, this is what I'm doing tomorrow. It is such a powerful, I can't even give you the words to explain how powerful that one action is. Then I have in here for you a gratitude list. Now, I don't care who you are. If you want to know the number 1 habit you must have to really be successful and live a happier life, you must have gratitude in your heart. There's no way around it. If you are a person who complains and blames and victimizes yourself and other people, you will get in your own way and hold yourself back. There's no question about it. But if you become more grateful, more appreciative, and think from a place of abundance and become very humbled, you are going to attract bigger and better and more positive things in your life, period. So this is why we have the gratitude list in here. And then lastly, we recommend that you do a power session, which means you take a few minutes and you look at the 6 things you said that you were going to do tomorrow, and you visualize each of them happening successfully. Now, listen, if you're thinking right now, wow, that seems like a lot. It's not even a lot. This might take you max 10 minutes. What is 10 minutes a day in comparison to the rest of your life? I know you don't want to live a life of mediocrity. I know you want to do better. You want to be happier. You want to be healthier. You want to earn more money. But if you want to do that, you've got to have a ritual. You've got to have something every single day that keeps you focused, that recenters you, that gets you back in alignment, that keeps you clear on where am I going? What am I doing to get there? And keeps you in the right emotional space. That's why we have this blueprint journal. Now, how do you fill it out? It's very clear. In step 1, if you guys take out your scratch pieces of paper, so for the people who wrote everything down, go back to step 1, which was your purpose. Let me zoom in here. Oh, way too close. And what you're going to write out is your purpose. And I'll show you. Hold on. My Adobe is freezing here. Give me a second. All right. What is going on? All right, hold on, guys. I'm going to have to quit my Adobe here and bring it back up. Okay. There we go. I think we should be back on. All right. Let me fix it up here. All right. We should be good. Okay. Let me try this again. So zoom in. And what you're going to want to do is write purpose. Oh, it keeps freezing on me for some reason. All right, hold on, guys. Let me do one thing here. Let me do an alternative. Give me one more minute here, guys. Sorry about this. Let me do this alternative. Okay, let me do it this way. I'm going to just use my iPad, and that will help us here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, zoom in here. And so what you're going to want to do is you go back to your purpose and then you write it out right here. So I told you my purpose is to, let me make this smaller, is to use my gifts and talents to help others succeed. My vision is speaking nationwide, earning $50K a month in my business. Let's see here. I have a successful team that operates my business, right? It's part of my vision. You're not going to be able to write every single thing in your vision list on here. I would just prioritize what are the most important items in your vision list that you would want to put in your journal every day. That's what I would do. So I think you're only going to probably be able to put max 6 different things because I've written this out for the last couple of years now. And so I would just prioritize from your vision list what are the most important items on here that I would love to achieve. Okay. And then what you're going to want to do is put that date for your goal. and then put the goal itself. Remember, it's I am so happy and grateful now that I am speaking nationally and getting paid to do it. Okay. Then what did I say I was going to do every day? All right. Well, I'm going to reach out to conferences. What did I say I needed to believe? That I am worthy of the success. What type of self-image did I say I needed to have? Remember, we wrote it out. How did I need to feel? How did I need to see? How do I need to act? Right? I need to feel confident, patient, grateful, successful, committed. Right? Okay. And then on this page, what are the 6 most important things I'm going to complete tomorrow? Well, let's go back to you, Mary. Well, tomorrow I'm going to plant-based doctor. You're going to find a plant-based doctor. Then you're going to look at a plant-based grocery list. Matter of fact, I'm going to paste in the website I always give people anyway, nutritionalstudies.org, or not that, it's I'll find it and I'll paste it in there for you. Okay, Mary. And they have a nice little grocery list for you. What is something else you're going to do tomorrow? And listen, sometimes it doesn't even have to be directly contributed to your goal. You should be writing out what are the most important things you're going to complete tomorrow, because listen, you have a life. Okay. It's not just your goal. You got other responsibilities, other things that warrant your attention. You should include that on here. So maybe you're like, you know what? I got to pay my bills tomorrow. Tomorrow I got to pick up my son from the airport. So put that down there, right? Tomorrow we'll have dinner with the family. And maybe that's it. Maybe you got 5 of the most important things tomorrow that you're going to do. And look, you've already written it out. So it's very clear on when you wake up in the morning, this is what I'm doing. And then the gratitude list is very simple. I am so grateful for what? A happier life. I'm grateful that things are getting better. I'm grateful for my family, my faith, grateful for my home, my car, like, what are you grateful for that you have today? What are you grateful for that you do want in the future? You could put that on here, right? So I'm so grateful for living at my perfect weight, right, Mary? I'm very grateful that my business is exceeding my financial goals. Right? This is just an example. And now this last step, which is really powerful, and I love this step. And guys, it only takes, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, maybe a minute. You should just stop right now. And let's just take Mary's example. Mary, I want you to really imagine yourself successfully connecting with a plant-based doctor. Just imagine it right now. What does it look like to successfully connect with a plant-based doctor? Then I want you to imagine that you've got a grocery list in your hand, and it's very simple for you to follow. Picture yourself holding a grocery list you just printed out of your printer. Then visualize that you paid all your bills successfully, and you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, that was so easy. I just paid all my bills. Just imagine yourself saying that to yourself. Then imagine you're in the car and you're smiling and laughing because you just picked up your son. You guys hugged. It's all great. Safe flight. Everything went smooth. He's in the car and you're headed home. Just imagine that. And then imagine the dinner, laughing and having great conversation. The food was great. Everybody's having a great time. Just play that movie in your mind. Now, this can last anywhere from 10 seconds to 60 seconds, depending on whatever it is. But this is what we mean by the morning power session. Now, I've been testing this, and I just recommend that as soon as you write out the 6 things you're going to complete tomorrow and your gratitude list, I would just do it immediately then. Just imagine it right after that. Just take the time for a minute to go back to those 6 things and imagine yourself and those things happening successfully. All right. Does that make sense? Put it in the comment section. Let me know if that makes sense to you guys. Thumbs up for me. Love it. Awesome. Okay, good. Perfect, Mary. Glad it helped. Perfect, Adrian. Appreciate you. Awesome. Good. All right, guys. That's awesome. Guys, this is the completion of our blueprint. You guys have just done something that most people will never do in their life. Most people will never create a plan. Most people will never get clear on why they're here and what they really want and what they're doing to move in that direction. Most people don't do that. I know it is very hard to believe, but most people don't do it. It's really remarkable. It's really crazy, guys. But that's the reality that we live in. This is what's happening in the world. Most people are not doing this. So I want to, congratulate you for taking the time to invest in yourself, taking the time to do the little things that would make you happier, that would improve the quality of your life, that would help you become more successful, right? I will really want to tip my hat off to you guys. Like, this work that you did today, I can guarantee is one of the most productive things you probably have done all this year. Like, I could really bet my money on that for sure. Because if you don't have a blueprint, what are you going to do? Right? If you have a blueprint, and not just any blueprint, I've given you the blueprint for success. Okay. What did we do today? We helped you create a blueprint for the things you want to achieve in your life. We did that by doing 3 primary things. First, we help you get clear on what is it that you really want. What does it really look like and why? 2, we helped you figure out who do you need to be to achieve the things that you want, because you got to be that person. You're not going to get it if you're not that person. It's just simple. How do you need to start thinking, feeling, and acting, right? Your beliefs, your habits. We went over that. And then the third thing is we helped you come up with a simple action plan that you can follow and helped you identify what is the right help that I need. Not just any type of help, but what is the right help for me to help me follow through on this action plan and the things I need to do to get to my goal. And then we've given you guys one of the things that every successful person has in common in the world is a ritual. The ritual is you wake up in the morning or before you go to sleep and you fill out your blueprint journal. And why? Because your blueprint journal is going to tell you again every single day, here's why you're doing this. Here's where you're going. Here's who you are becoming. Here's what you're doing. Here's why you're grateful. And then seeing it happening in your mind every day. Through the repetition of that, it will happen. And this is how everything in our life is created. Everything. This software I'm using, the phone or laptop you are using, somebody did that in their head. They started to imagine, hey, why don't we create a software that can allow people to broadcast all over the world in all different platforms all at the same time? Right? And then they didn't go to people who've never done that to get their opinions. They went to people who are already doing that. They started surrounding themselves with people who are doing it. Right? They came up with a plan. Here's what I'm going to do to pull it off. They had to evolve as a person personally to pull it off. Okay. They had to become more confident. They had to believe in it more. They had to see it more. They had to do more, right? They had to be more productive to make it happen. And they were very clear on what they wanted. And that's why we're able to do what we're able to do today. Everything in this world happens that way. Everything you are using, everything in your house, your car, the street you live on, it's all been created by someone doing this process in their mind already. I've just helped you get it out of your mind and in an organized fashion onto some paper. You guys have the workbook. Okay. You guys have the workbook, so you can go back and you can clean it all up and follow this process over again and make sure that you're 100% clear. So what's the next step? What are the next steps? Well, first, give us feedback. All right, give us some feedback. What is something you loved about this workshop? Put it in the comment section below, please. Put it, if you're on Zoom, put it in the chat. I've got quite a few people on YouTube. Put it in the description, or I'm sorry, in the comment section in the chat area. What did you love about this workshop? Okay, share with us right now. We really want to know. Okay, and then secondly, what you got to do is take action on everything that we went over today. Now, remember, I've been saying throughout the entire workshop, there are 3 things you need if you're going to be successful. 1, you got to be committed. That's your responsibility. I can't do nothing about it. That's all on you. But I'm operating from the assumption. I'm operating from the fact that you are committed. I am assuming you are committed. So let's just do that. Step 2, you need a blueprint. This is what the workshop was all about. You needed a blueprint. We helped you create a blueprint, a plan for your success. And 3, you need the right support to keep you on track. So step number 2, or action number 2, is you got to join our university, our membership. This is where we hold you accountable to the blueprint that you just wrote out. That's your next action step, to take this blueprint, start implementing it into your life, and then make sure that you join people just like yourself who want to be held accountable, who want to follow through on this plan. Because I know you just were not on here for just 2 hours just to waste your time. You were on here because you really want to make some things happen. In order to make things happen, you need 3 things: your commitment, a proven blueprint, and support to help you follow that blueprint, to really follow through and stay on track. So how do you join our membership? What does that look like? All you got to do is comment down below membership, or just comment down membership, and I will reach out to you. We will reach out to you. We'll see your name. We'll see your comment, and we will send you a message. Okay. And for the people on YouTube, just comment there below and we'll drop the link for you to get in contact with us. Okay. So those are the next steps. Now, let me check back in with you guys. What are the things you got or that was good about this workshop? Well, let's see. Workshop was very clear. Perfect. I love it. Simple, easy. Love it. Very inspired. Cool. So am I. Let's see. You're very good at this. Thank you. I appreciate that. This has really helped me set goals. I've been putting this off for quite some time, and I am so grateful for this. Well, I'm very grateful that you got the opportunity to be here and really take advantage of this. Let's see. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love the simplicity. Okay. Love that. What else? Very good. Thank you, guys. All right. Awesome. Okay, everyone. This has been the Blueprint for Success workshop. Your next steps is just 2 things. 1, take the blueprint that you filled out today and immediately start taking action on it. You wrote out your action steps on what you were going to do to execute your strategy. Do it today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till Monday. Tomorrow's Easter, by the way. So don't even wait till after Easter. I would start on it now. Just do the first action step, because see, this is what happens. If you wait till Monday, realistically Tuesday, because Monday is technically a holiday for most people, you're probably not going to do it. That's how procrastination works. We must be different to get different results. We got to start acting differently. How do you start acting differently? Just do what I'm telling you to do right now. Take action on the first step in your strategy. What's that first step? If it's looking for the plant-based doctors, immediately after this workshop ends, start making a list. Just go to Google, plant-based doctors in my area. Just make a list. They probably closed today. That's fine. Just make a list at least. Do something physically different that you wouldn't do normally, right? Don't put it off. Don't wait. What's that action step that you could take today? Do it right now. Okay? That's the first thing. Second thing is join our membership, because you're going to need the accountability, and you're going to need someone who understands what it's like to set a goal outside your comfort zone and then get in your way and not follow through. So join the membership. How do you do that? Comment below membership and we will reach out to you. All right. This has been the Blueprint for Success workshop. I don't think I even mentioned my name throughout the entire time. Well, my name is Devori Darkins. My business is called Darkins Success Coaching, and my mission is to help you create the success you want in your life. Bottom line, and the way that we do that is what we accomplish here today. That's how I do that. You tell me what you want, and I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to get it. This is why I'm here. This is who I am. I'm so grateful, and I really appreciate your time and you showing up today. And I just want to wish you so much success. All right, guys. That's the end. I'm sticking to it. Sending you my love. And hopefully I get to see you in our membership. Bye, everyone.